We might have enough. All right. So sorry about that. We were having a little uh, fear when it was 8 o'clock and nobody, hardly anyone's on, but it looks like we haven't enough to conduct a meeting. So uh, thank you for joining us on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. A lot of people are enjoying a long weekend, and we'll uh, start the meeting with a sorry, I gotta give me a second. Share my screen. There we go. And tonight is January 19th. It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And we're going to start with a new affiliation. We have affiliated with Ron Ruman, and he is here to tell us about himself and why he's affiliating with the Ford Party. Go ahead, Ron.
All right, Ben, thank you very much, and thanks to all of you. I'm very proud to have this affiliation and very pleased to have it. Um, I'm I want to be affiliated with the Forward Party because I really believe in pretty much what this party's about, particularly the idea of giving voters more choices and also in allowing voters to participate more fully in our process. So two things I support very much are open primaries in Pennsylvania. I think it's just ridiculous that independents can't vote in primaries, and that even eventually I would love to see us just have nonpartisan, where people get their petitions, signatures, file, and run, and the top two go to November. Um, so, one step at a time, fight for open primaries for now, at least for independents. And an open government process. I was a reporter for the first third of my career, so I am very much a supporter of openness in what we do. As a township supervisor, I've tried to make our township more open, and we have actually. And I have to say that's been something that we've moved a decent amount of the way to doing. We stream all of our meetings now, which honestly started with COVID, but we stream them, and I also got us to archive them on our website for a year. And I've heard from some people who actually go watch them because not everybody's available the fourth Thursday of the month at 7 o'clock, even to watch it live. So that's been a very positive thing. So openness and letting everyone participate. I'm also a member of Fair Districts PA, working to have a Citizens Commission draw our legislative and congressional districts so we don't have the craziness that we have now, thanks to Texas and then other people, joining in to fight back in a way. So I think I align with with many of the Forward Party's ideas, which are for giving voters more choices and making sure that voters can participate fully in our electoral process and being open in government. So I'm very, very proud and pleased to be affiliated with you. And I also can tell you that I'm running for the state house. I am now a Democrat as of last November, after 42 years. Just couldn't stay with the party I belong to for that long because they've abandoned pretty much everything why I joined them. And I believe if I'm successful, and it's a deep red district, so I know it's going to be tough, but if I'm successful, my ideas will be to listen to everyone, take ideas from across the spectrum, try and bring them together where we can, take parts of different ideas and give no one everything, but everyone enough that they can support it and move us forward. I think I have a much better opportunity to do that as a Democrat. I've always been a political moderate. I still am, haven't changed my position on any issues, but I just think as a Democrat, I could do that. So I'm running for an open seat, 196th district in York County. It's a -29 district, but I know a lot of people. I've been involved in the community for the 40 years I've lived here. I believe I can get a lot of support across the political spectrum. I hope that my idea for opening primaries will give me a huge percentage of the independent vote, which in this district, as in most cases, is 1/6 of the electorate. And I believe I can get a lot of the moderate and the open-minded Republicans to listen to what I have to say. And I'm hoping with that, with the fact that I don't think there's any question this is going to be a blue year. Josh Shapiro at the top of the ticket in Pennsylvania will be a major plus for Democrats. I share half of my district with Janelle Stelson, who's running in the Pennsylvania 10th Congressional District. I think she's going to win. Janelle and I worked in the news media together at different stations, but in this market, we know each other, and I think we can complement each other. She's also a former Republican. I think we're both political moderates, and so hopefully that will work out. So if any of you is so inclined and you're not too far away and you're interested in maybe helping out a day or two, specifically in the fall, knocking on a few doors, or if you or anyone you know might be able to kick in a few bucks, I should have my committee up by next week. Love to have the support, because I will carry. I may not agree with everything the Forward Party it stands for, but I do think I agree with most of it. And if I get to Harrisburg, I will absolutely advocate for these issues I've discussed tonight, and I believe the Forward Party supports. So I would be a voice for our shared values in Harrisburg. So thank you for affiliating with me. I'm proud to carry that forward. I'm going to put it on my handouts that I'm affiliated with the Forward Party, and on my website. And if they have questions, I'm happy to answer them, but I hope to work with you in the future on many issues. And yes, PA 196. It's in York County, and anyone who can help or is willing to, or can refer me to anyone who might, love to have the help. So again, thank you very much for this and for the time tonight.
Yes, and like he said, are there any questions for Ron?
Well, if you think of one later,
I
Dave.
do have one.
Okay, yeah,
I have
please.
one as well. I can go second.
Okay.
Uh, you're going to need signatures to get on the ballot. Is there any way that I believe you do have to be a registered Democrat, but is there any way uh, for members of the party who are for Democrats can help you in that regard?
Um, if I need, I think I'm going to be okay there. I think I've got about a half a dozen people are going to help with that. But if when the time arrives, or I get into that period, which is the 17th of February through March 10th, if it looks like it's getting a little close, any registered Democrat in Pennsylvania can collect signatures. You have to be in the district to sign. So if I get to a point where it's looking dicey, maybe I'll put out a call, and if anyone has a free afternoon or evening, they could come and knock on some doors, that would be great. Hopefully it won't come to that, but that would be one way.
David.
Before I ask my question, am I right to think that you first have to go through the Democrat primary?
That's correct. As of now, I'm not aware of any other Democrats running, nor is anyone in the party here. So hopefully that will not be anything more than a formality.
I was going to tailor this question at the primary, but feel free to answer for the primary, general, or both. You just listed a bunch of reasons that your candidacy appeals to people like us who are independent minded, but I know that the partisanship of many voters will be an obstacle to you. So how do you plan to tailor your message to appeal to the Republicans who may be suspicious of you because you changed to the Democratic Party, and the Democrats who may be suspicious because you used to be a Republican?
Yeah, and that's a challenge. There's no question. I'm going to talk about who I've been, who I've always been. I have a long list of serving the community here in York County. On my handouts and my websites, I do have endorsements from a number of Republicans, a number of Democrats, and an independent. So, and several of those folks are current or former office holders in this district and immediately adjacent to it. So I think that some of them are fairly well known to voters. So I hope that will help. I've been talking to many Republicans in the last several weeks. Haven't had certainly 100% success, but I'm telling people that I haven't changed. I'm a moderate. I always was, and I'm very supportive of businesses in Pennsylvania. I've talked about some things I've done as a township supervisor to help businesses in our community, and some ideas that I think will help taxpayers across Pennsylvania as a fiscal conservative. So I'm hoping that those ideas will help with the Republicans. And as far as the Democrats go, I'm a huge supporter of our public schools and of reforming the way we fund our cyber charter schools, which is taking hundreds of millions of dollars away from public schools in Pennsylvania unnecessarily to buy buildings and to provide special education funding, which is above and beyond what the needs of those special education students in those cyber charter schools are. So that I'm certainly not anti-union. I was in a union. I was president of a union once upon a time. I'm hoping that I can garner a lot of union support here. And I support fracking in Pennsylvania. I worked at DEP when fracking came to be. I believe we have solid rules in to protect our environment. They need to be enforced. And I believe overall they have been. It's not been perfect, but I support that. I think that's a Republican idea. But as I said, it's got to protect our environment. And I have a record of working at DEP in both the Ridge and Rendell administrations to protect our environment. So hopefully I'll be able to find, Dave, enough of those issues on either side that I can say to someone who's an open-minded Republican, this is why you can vote for me, and the skeptical Democrats, and I can say, here are areas where I think we align. And by the way, maybe you don't agree with me on 100%, but the other guy's 100% MAGA. So I'm a whole lot better for you than he ever will be.
And please, no one take my question as pessimism. I'm thrilled that you're doing this, Ron. I'm excited.
No, you've hit the nail on the head. That's what I have to do. And it's a needle, and I need 30% of the Republicans to win. That's just a fact of this district. It's -29 in terms of registration. But I hope that there are still enough open-minded Republicans here that they'll listen. And frankly, not that I kind of goes against our ethos of everyone should participate, but I'm honestly hoping that a bunch of the MAGAs stay home this year. Because they don't have Trump, they're not going to have Mastriano. So I really hope they do, because they're not going to vote for me. And if they don't show up, then that's kind of like a vote for me.
Yeah, great to hear from you, Ron. I love to hear everything that you're talking about and that you're running for state house. As you know, we're working for candidates like you that are running this year that we can work with, and especially in circumstances where people are trying to run for the first time for an office, they have a lot of questions about like how, like, I guess my question for you is like, what services, what support can the Democrats in your case like give to you? Was it hard to transition from the Republicans to the Democrats and like get support for like one thing that's come up is like a treasurer. People don't know how to get a campaign treasurer and get them trained for get a volunteer trained for that role. Do you have any thoughts on that? Like what we can do better to support first time candidates?
Well, I think those are the kinds of things. The logistics are daunting. And even though I've run for office, this is a different level. So there are different things. I do have a treasurer, fortunately, who is experienced in being a treasurer. And I've been working with the House Democratic Campaign Committee since November. And they are supposed to have training for treasurers. I'm still waiting on the date for that, but hopefully they'll do that. So I think as you look for folks, I think things like a treasurer, making sure they understand the number of signatures, 300, that's a lot. And you only have 3 weeks to get them. Who can circulate, who can sign, those types of things. And in fact, they should file a committee because you want to raise money, and how to do that. It's not that hard, but you need to have the right forms and know where to get them. And the House Democratic Committee was helpful in that. I'm a little better off in that than I worked in state government for decades and worked at the Department of State for 4 years. So I'm kind of familiar with a lot of the electoral machinery that you have to go through. But I think letting folks know about that and help getting them those forms, helping get them the actual petitions, because that's still something I'm waiting on. When are they going to be available? Making sure that I can print them properly, because you have to print them front and back and flip them the right way so they're not upside down and all that, little stuff that can screw you up. So I think that and knowing if anything needs notarized. Fortunately, your petitions, I don't think, need notarized anymore. I have to double check that, but yeah, a lot of those nuts and bolts things are really, you want to be worrying about talking to people and trying to get your message out and all that, and then you get stumbling over the paperwork. So that would be
Yeah, and I
helpful.
think that's what's intimidating for the people where, have never thought about doing this before, and we're trying to recruit them. Thank you.
Yeah. And the other thing I'm looking for is an energetic young person who might be able to handle my social media. So I'm still looking for some folks. I have hopes here, but if I fail in that regard, maybe one of you has a child or a grandchild or a younger friend who might be willing to do that. It's not going to be a lot. I'm not going to be overwhelmed, but it'll be, 2-3 hours a week. It's going to be Facebook and probably, I don't know, They say you can link Facebook with Instagram and X. I don't know. I'm on Facebook, but
Rachel.
Yeah, this is really exciting. To hear all that. I didn't know maybe other people knew you were running for state house, but that's great. You sound like you really know how to do it and you have answers to a lot of the questions. One thing, I mean, I guess if you're running as a Democrat and then you get through the primary, obviously the endorsement process would come next if that's something you're interested in and if that was to happen, or even if not, we have like the Young Forwardists as a national committee, and with it being tech, I don't even know if they would have to be really in Pennsylvania, but I do know that there's some young people that really it could be a very light lift for them. So if you want to get connected, if yours don't pan out, that could be something that I know some other candidates have tapped into that as a resource. They're young, energetic, they've got ideas, and getting it out will take them like 1/8 the time that maybe
Yeah.
some of the rest of us it would take. So that's a resource perhaps down the road. What I was going to ask is you mentioned an open seat and that you don't think any other Democrats are running. So I just wanted to ask, like, I don't think it's a newly created seat. So is someone not running for reelection? And then you said the other guy is MAGA. So, like, if you could tell us more about the other candidate.
it is, yes, it is a seat where the current incumbent who's been there for 18 years is not running. And I don't know this, but I've heard that he is not running because he was told he was going to be primaried because he's not MAGA enough. And that happened to 2 other state reps in York County in 2022. 2 longtime reps, including the currently sitting at the time Republican Appropriations Chair in the House, Stan Saylor, who was taken out after 30 years in a primary. So it would not surprise me. The other individual is a person who's on the township board with me. And I did tell him last week that I was running because I didn't want him to hear it elsewhere. And we get along fine. I mean, well enough. So, but yeah, he just, that's who he is. He's a defense attorney, so he's a smart man. But he just believes in everything that they stand for. So I'm hoping that being that kind of strident about it will turn off enough. I mean, this is an area that there's a lot of MAGA folks here, but there's a lot of folks who aren't either. So I'm hoping I can tap into that moderate streak in a year when even some of the MAGAs are having second thoughts. But I thank you for the young forwardists. If I can't find anyone else, I may ask you for that.
Yeah, that's an easy connection. Can you think of like 1 or 2 state legislative type policies that this candidate would support that you don't, as opposed to just MAGA in general, which, we all get what you're saying, but like closer to home, like what do you think are the issues where you would vote differently?
Well, certainly he would not support open primaries. I can tell you that. And that's one that's important to us. He is very much not a supporter of public schools, so I'm sure he would vote for any school choice bills that would come up. That's not something I believe in. He is not supportive of labor, so I don't know, but my suspicion he would support any right to work bills that would come down the pike. He's not in favor of renewable energy at all. So he doesn't have, I agree with Governor Shapiro. I have an all of the above energy, not coal, but we have to use our natural gas. We have to. We don't have renewable energy available to us at this time. And we need that, and it is certainly cleaner than coal. I support nuclear. I'm glad TMI is coming back. I worked at DEP, and part of my press responsibilities were radiation protection. guy that headed our bureau is one of the most brilliant people I've ever met. Man's on it. He's retired now, but he's on commissions around the world. That he advises the International Atomic Energy Commission. And, you know, he convinced me that nuclear power done properly is very safe. So I think nuclear power has to be part of it. And he's, you know, my opponent's definitely against alternative energy and renewable energy, which I think is totally wrong. So he would not support any of that, which I think will hurt us environmentally and hurt our climate. So, and certainly in terms of, you know, gay and trans rights, he would. I mean, we've never dealt with that at the local level, but just kind of knowing him, I gotta believe he would not be supportive of that, and I certainly am. I think.
Thank you. That
I-
does shapes the picture. Thank you.
Okay. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take up this much of the meeting because I know you guys have other things to deal with, but. Any
it's
support
great
you
here.
guys can offer in any way, anyone you know in this area of your county, or again, anyway, I'm gonna need money. You know, that's an unfortunate thing of politics today, and I know he'll have it. So anyone that, if you're able, once I have a committee, small donations, or if any of you knows anyone that has deeper pockets, that you can put me in touch with, because that's a fact of running for office today.
Robert.
I'll be happy to be one of your first small donors, and please don't apologize for taking up a lot of the meeting, because everything that we're doing is theoretical without people putting it into practice like you are. So it's wonderful to hear your firsthand experience, especially with the wealth of experience that you have.
Well, thank you. I'll hopefully my committee is filed. I just we're going. My treasurer and I are going to the bank Friday, so hopefully as of Friday that will be up. So I can send. I have David's email. I can send him info if you want to spread it around, and anyone else so inclined. Right now it's checks, I guess, and eventually the folks in Harrisburg said they'll give me an ActBlue account, so you'll be able to do online stuff.
Robert.
So yeah, I agree with what David was saying before. So yeah, thank you. No problem for having more time. Just curious. I'm sorry if you mentioned this before, but were you involved in the energy sector at any point prior to this?
No,
my wife works for the Exelon, so just in case, I wasn't sure if you had like a certain connection, even though.
No,
Okay,
I
that's
am.
great. Okay.
No, I spent my first part of my career where I was a television reporter, and I covered government and politics for the CBS affiliate in Harrisburg, and then I transitioned into working in the press area for state government. So that was my background. But part of that time, for 6 years, was at DEP.
Okay, that's fantastic. So less likely that you would kind of like kind of be helping a certain subset of the energy community without us knowing, even though
No. I really mean, I think we need to take advantage of all the energy we have, as long as it's done in an environmentally responsible way.
Yeah, I agree with you in completely. Just the sheer fact that we have natural gas, it would be a waste. It would set Pennsylvania backwards if we don't use the natural gas that we have. That
Right.
other states they don't. They got to use it. Arizona is going to be into a lot of solar. They get a lot of sun, like direct sunlight. So that's great, and we will try to help as much as we can, and certainly I'll try to contribute something to your campaign, as little
Thank you.
as it is. I'm from the Delaware County, by the way, Delaware County, Chester County, so kind of close, but not
Yeah.
like really close to York. So
Thank you.
great
I
area
appreciate
though.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Cheers.
we have a huge employer in our district that's Voith Hydro. And I know hydro's in the alternative energy portfolio standards for Pennsylvania, but I never hear anything about it. And if I got there, I would love to work on making hydro more a part of that, because it's very clean and it's totally renewable. And we've got a company that already employs several hundred people here, and we could grow that. So I think that's when we've kind of overlooked, and they've said that. They even said President Obama came there when he was first elected and talked about it, and then never heard from him again. And
Yeah, that's strange. We do have a lot of waterfalls up north, Ricketts Glen, right? So
Yeah.
we could do hydro. So
All right. So I'll get back to the slideshow. Thank you, Ron, for joining us and
thank you.
telling us about your campaign. And Uh, Another announcement, the PA Democracy Collaborative is having a 2-day event. You can join for one or both of them. But on February 1st, they're having w- learning workshops at a place in the capital, and the second day is, I believe, a meetup in front of the Capitol. So learn more at the Fair Districts page for this, and uh, hopefully some people from our organization will be able to join them.
Yeah, just an FYI, I will be there for both days. And actually, Robert, I was hoping to hook up with you and get some more cards. And I was wondering, do we have any little placards or anything that I could carry? I was at the uh rally Saturday in the snow to stop the gerrymandering. There's quite a few people there, about 100 folks at least showed up. And I passed out a few cards there, and I wish I had a little placard that I could have carried because I noticed there was quite a few people that had placards and stuff, and it would have been the appropriate place for that. But yeah, I'll be in Harrisburg driving up the morning of the 1st and plan on staying there through all the activities on the 2nd. So, and I'm still waiting to hook up with Kristen. He was supposed to call me this afternoon, but something came up. So we'll be hooking up, and yeah, I'm planning on helping man some of the tables or whatever. I don't think we can get a table of our own, but I want to have stuff available to hand out. You know, so.
That's great. So I think Christian also has a flag, right? You're talking about the flag that says forward.
Well, that and I was thinking the placards, about 24 inches by 18 or whatever that you just hold up on a sign, like when you're
Oh, I
listening.
don't have forward. Like, I
Yeah,
think the last time we had those, it was Eric Settle's campaign,
okay.
and I think I gave mine out. And then the ones I had were other candidates. It didn't, unfortunately, it doesn't say anything forward. So
Yeah.
if anyone in the Southeast has any kind of, you're talking about like 12 by 18-inch like
Yeah.
cards that say forward party or something.
Yeah. Yes. And actually, if anybody's got the artwork, I don't mind going to, one of the print shops and, printing up a couple myself. So if there's anybody's got any artwork, I'd definitely be interested, just shoot it my way and
Yeah.
I'll take that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to showing up there and see what's going on and just meeting the folks.
Rachel.
Yeah, I was just gonna suggest, you may already, I don't know if you have any forward like shirts or anything, like wearing something can strike up a conversation. We have, or at least had, a QR code that then people could come to our page, and sign up, or there was another one that took them straight to the donation page, and I have definitely like printed that and put it in a picture frame and like taken it to something, just put it out on the table. If someone's like talking to you for a couple minutes, you can just refer them to that, and then it pops up on their phone. I don't know, Ben, Brian, like if those are still, I guess, does the QR code work forever? Do we have those still? That's easy to print.
We
Yeah.
might.
Yeah.
Uh, I will be sending. I will send Joe something.
Okay.
I have.
Yeah, maybe we
Uh,
can discuss the rest of this at like the Slack, the com Slack or something, like off of the general statewide call.
yeah. So this event is happening on February 1st, which is a Sunday, and Groundhog's Day, which is Monday of this year. So hopefully some people will be there.
Mm.
Uh, our friends over at March on Harrisburg are also having several events across the state to celebrate RCV Day. Uh, learn more at their website at their event page. But hopefully you can join them for one of these things happening.
I can do the media one, the pizza one on the left, rank the pizza at Pinocchio's. So, if anyone's in the South. Oh, there you go, Joe. Maybe I can give you whatever I have if you want to go to that, or
Okay,
maybe something like that. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
there we go. Sounds like a plan.
Right. National has several events coming up for anybody who wants to get involved. They have a grassroots organizing event tomorrow at 6 p.m. Learn more at their you can learn more at the event page on the fordparty.com website. And a recruitment challenge, elected official outreach, national volunteer call, and a run for office with the Ford Party next month on the 19th. So a month from today. So yeah, learn more at the National Party's event page or any of the links in the screen here. We do have a convention planning meeting scheduled for February 4th at 8 p.m. Please join us and we'll be talking about the convention at that time. As always, National also has several committees. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Black Voters Committee on today, being Martin Luther King Jr. Day. There's also the Asian American and Pacific Islander, LGBTQ, Women's Committee, Young Fortis. A lot of committees you might be able to become an active participant in if you want to get more involved that way. You also have opportunities for county leads, make your voice heard in the Pennsylvania Ford Party, recruit candidates, organize local events and signature drives, and help build the movement. Fundraising is always a issue with organizations. Always hate asking, but we do need money to fund everything we do. And we are looking to have a convention later in the year, and the more we fundraise, the more special it can become. So please help us if you can. Our next meeting, which we might decide to change it because it's on another federal holiday. It is tentatively scheduled for February 16th, 2006 at 8 p.m. We might move it back a week or earlier a week, depending on if there is a fourth Monday in February. But please join us whenever we hold it. Look, keep peeled on your emails for any updates to that date. Open floor and discussion questions. We'll stop sharing. Does anybody have any issues, comments, concerns they want to bring up tonight?
Actually, I would. I would like to, just ask everybody that if everybody can recommend one person to sign up on our website, just to be a participant, like to have them as a supporter. But specifically, if anybody has relatives, friends, or whatever living in an assisted living center, a senior center, or something like that, love to make contact with them because that's the best way for us to get our foot in the door. There's a lot of pent up potential there with different disenfranchised and older people, seniors that are dissatisfied with where we're at today. And they would be, a lot of them would be willing to work for us if, they were just aware of us. So I'm asking, everybody just talk to folks. If you know somebody, try and get them to register with the Forward Party. Same way with, well, anybody, veteran or, somebody in college, if we could get, some more campus activity going, that would be great. But this year, National is making a concerted effort on grassroots recruiting. And they're actually going to have a challenge where we can all go and register and get a unique identifier so that as we recruit people, we can give them this link when they go to register, and that will track, who you recruited and stuff. So, just kind of think that and keep that in the back of your mind, along with fundraising. But if we can get people, to, work with us as well as potential candidates, but, primarily, we're looking to really step up our grassroots recruiting effort.
And if that appeals to you, I would recommend tomorrow's meeting with National. And I also saw Ron's hand go up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is specific to me, so I'll be quick, but I had, how may I list the Forward Party on my handouts? I think I had said endorsed, but when Rachel brought that up, I guess maybe I'm not endorsed as a candidate yet. Can I say affiliated or, and if you don't know tonight, just let me know in the next few days.
Your status right now would be affiliated.
Okay,
We might be able to say endorsed I have to get back with National, and we probably have to do a second vote. But I don't foresee that being a big issue. It's
yeah,
just,
but I don't want to put something out there that's not right,
Yeah.
so
Look at
I
our
can say,
exciting first, a seated elective forwardist who's running again for something bigger. Like, this is great. Yeah, but we've never had this question. So, yeah, that was my impression as well, Ben, is currently you in your role are affiliated with us.
Okay.
And you are sitting as a Democrat or,
yeah,
yes, you're a forward Democrat in office
yes.
at this time. Yeah, and
Yeah,
hopefully get
okay,
that
so I put affiliated with PA Forward Party.
currently.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's exciting. We haven't really had this, right, guys? Like to then like take it up a notch. You are the person. It's an interesting, yeah, it's an interesting question.
any other comments, questions, concerns this month?
I had a random question. I haven't been to one of these meetings in a couple months. Are the regional calls still, do they still happen, or is it just statewide calls?
We do have regional calls for the southeast, the southwest, and the capital. Unfortunately, we don't have ones in the northwest, what we call the Central Highlands, or the northeast. So, uh, what county are you in?
Where are the links for those? Are those sent out routinely? Are they on the website somewhere?
They should be in the uh in the newsletter. Should also be on the event page on the website. Let me just
If I could chime in, Teddy, we did have a few times that we didn't have the local meetings like due to the holidays and stuff. So if you weren't seeing it, that may be part of the reason. But yeah, we send mostly the emails, the newsletter, like Ben said, and then there will be a local specific email, to people in that region. And we're starting to post them here. Yeah. What part of the state were you in, Teddy? Could you remind us?
Yeah.
Oh, in Philadelphia. Okay, great. Well, maybe Robert can just make sure that you're on his list
Okay.
to remind also.
Yeah,
Awesome. Thank
sounds
you very
good,
much.
Teddy. Do you want me to send you an email? I can send you my email, but here's where the events are. And you should be able to get through that. Okay. I had a little bit of a there's an issue. There may be an issue with with something I have to update, but yeah, if you got there, all right, that's good. But
It's on the website. I can figure it out. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
thanks, Teddy.
David.
Actually, I'm hoping to put Tyler on the spot, but Tyler, it's okay if you don't want to speak. I didn't think of this ahead of time or talk to you ahead of time. Tyler attended our info call for new county leads on Thursday. Tyler, if you're interested in speaking, you're welcome to comment on your first impressions as a new county lead, but don't let me put you on the spot.
Yeah, no worries. No, sorry. This wasn't on my calendar. I like didn't I didn't thoroughly read the newsletter email, so I was going off of the Slack. So I'll adjust that for the future. But yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, it feels like I'm still kind of just learning, figuring out what I should be working on. But it's like it's not really any pressure. It's just kind of what you want to get out of it. So yeah, everyone's very supportive. So excited to be involved.
Well, thanks very much
Great.
for speaking on the spot. Kind of like we said about Ron as an affiliated candidate running for another office, you're also in a category that's kind of new where we're still working out the processes. So please continue communicating with us and being a guinea pig, so to speak, as we work all of this out. Thanks for your flexibility.
Yep. And thank you again for stepping up to join us. I look forward to seeing you in your role in the future. Anybody else want to talk tonight?
One other thing I just quickly mentioned, Brian had asked it about putting up a Google Calendar on our website for meetings and stuff. I've talked with California and everything. I have a sandbox copy of Google Calendar that's working. There's some quirks with Nation Builder on how it works and how it updates. I just need to do some more testing to make sure that by implementing it, we don't break anything on the production website. But I hope to, with yours and Brian's approval, to get that up, hopefully by the end of the week. Just a little more testing, then I'll have some of you guys, do a quick test, and if it looks good, we can put it out there. Yeah, so it would go there. And it's just an FYI, the map that is currently displayed, it automatically has the world view that it's won't focus the PA, and if there's no physical events, it won't switch off the world view.
Yeah, I appreciate you working on that, Joe. This is Forward California's website, their event calendar. I think it's a lot easier to understand than what we have. And so Joe kindly volunteered to try and recreate this on our website. So yeah, hopefully we have some new looks, new event pages to share, kind of a redesign for the new year. So it's been a long time we've been wanting something new.
And just an FYI, one of the quirks is that we can create the event automatically in Nation Builder, but if we change the event in Nation Builder, you have to manually update it on the Google Calendar. So not super significant, but it's an issue that we need to be aware of.
You mean we have to use the Pennsylvania Forward Google account in order to change the Google
It's-
calendar?
Well, yeah, if you change the
Oh.
event once it's published, so if we go in and change the date, we can add a new event, but it won't delete or change the old event until we go in there manually. And I'm documenting the process for that. In fact, I need to get with David to talk about the Google Drive on how we set that up. Yeah.
Cool.
So basically, the people that can create an event, they'll also need access to the Google Calendar if they have to modify or update a event once it's posted. But more to
Ouch. Okay. Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, lots of fun. Thank you, Joe, for getting it.
We just gave Brian some more work. Maybe we could automate something that would make a form that you will see it easier, and therefore we can update the Google Calendar in a more streamlined fashion, but we'll see.
Maybe. We'll see.
All right. I will ask again. Anybody want to make a comment, question, concern to
So,
be
so
raised?
your point about the next meeting being on the 16th, I think there are 5 holidays on there's Valentine's Day, President's Day weekend, Lunar New Year, Ash Wednesday is it's the 18th, but it seems like, are we safe to move it to the 23rd? Is that, which is the fourth Monday? Just, I mean, if not officially, we could just say like, okay, we're looking to do that, and then if
Yeah.
nothing changes, we'll take the 23rd, right, as a default.
Sure. Rachel.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. February is a short month. The 23rd could easily have been the third, Monday of the month. So I think we should avoid another national holiday. Mostly, honestly, because of travel and school's out, and like it just messes with everybody. Not everyone has kids in school, but I guess the other thing I was just gonna say is put in a plug, and we should do this pretty often. Is anyone who's listening, just pay attention to like the races in your community, like someone awesome who's running or someone who's not so awesome that is running for re-election or otherwise, and pay attention to these local races. Because as we build like a docket and a ticket and a block of, a caucus and different types of ways, it definitely strengthens numbers. And when there's people like Ron and his community, putting our name out there and getting in the room and doing the thing like that, there's just nothing that helps us more, I would think. So, look around. You may not want to run for office, but, maybe attend a township meeting or see if your mayor is due this year. Like, I guess maybe not because that was last year, but school board, I don't know what might be up. Is there anything in 20, I guess that was last
Well,
year. I guess maybe
one of
not.
the things that a lot of municipalities have issues with is, although they're not elected positions, there are a lot of appointed positions that go unfilled. I myself serve on the zoning hearing board, and if I didn't re-up my appointment or redo my application last 2 months ago, they wouldn't have had anybody to fill the position I am in right now. So a lot of municipalities needs people to volunteer to serve their communities in that way.
Yeah, that's a
So
great point. Like I went to a bunch of zoning board meetings in my community last year because there was a situation with a transportation center for the school district, and it was monthly for a year. It was 12 meetings, and you do meet a lot of neighbors. You hear a lot of scuttlebutt about the commissioners and the things, and then before we know it, it's an off-year election and there are people up. So I may have misspoke, but I would still recommend if you know can attend virtually or watch the meetings or just start catching up in your community about like what are the issues, who are the good players, who are the people who maybe we don't want to elect again in our communities, because before we know it, the midterms will be gone and we'll be back on an off-year election. So never too soon.
And to add on to that, local campaigns, right? Everybody, all the state house races are happening, even if there's not a forward candidate that we can recruit. If you like your state house member, working on their campaigns is great experience for what we're doing, because we'll be doing this all in 2 years again. And your experience with how they did things, like I was saying to Ron, how does the treasurer work? How does the paperwork work? All these things. I see Nancy on my screen. Nancy, you must have worked on tons of campaigns. You have all this garnered experience, that is just what our party needs. So, that sort of experience is the most important thing that we can be gathering as we try and actually get more people involved. They need to rely on us for some of that institutional knowledge.
I'd be happy if anybody wants to run for any office in Philadelphia, I'd be happy to advise and do some work on that campaign.
Do you have any campaigns that you're watching this year, Nancy? Okay, well, it's still early, but please keep us posted on if there's people that you like and are working with.
There is a Dwight Evans is retiring, the congressman from the 3rd district, and I believe Sharif Street is the person, probably the first person to replace Dwight Evans. And the person you sent me, Brian, Andreo, turns out he's I believe he's high school age, and he's Philadelphia area, so he keeps a lot of attention towards that congressional race. So maybe we get Andreo. I think he volunteers for like certain. I guess he is for Democrat, so he does. I think he's going to be at tomorrow's Mikey Sherrill, New Jersey inauguration. I think he also does like text banking and like phone banking. So we're going to try to get him on the forward side of the text banking, phone banking. But yeah, a lot of exciting stuff in Philly. So soon to be, I guess, yeah, we'll see. We see what happens as far as forward is, because we don't have to do primaries. But
I'm not familiar with this person. You said he's a young person. Like, would he be willing to, help out someone like Ron, or is that not a big enough race at State House?
He's more like a new sign up. Let's
Okay.
not give him too much yet.
But Mikey Sherrill's
Right.
Democrat, so he's running as a Democrat. I don't know this person, but you never know, or who he knows.
Mhm. Right. So yeah, he's I did ask about his social media experience. He doesn't have that much social media experience. So, but he does I think he's more like an in-person kind of like go to like various events with let's say the candidate there. Kind of like helping run things, and he'll do like the side things. But he's just getting his feet wet in the whole thing. But possible poli-sci bachelor's in a few years. So we'll see. It's promising, nice promising young kid. So yeah.
Maybe he'll want to help plan the convention.
maybe yeah, we can ask.
Yeah, so anybody else before we end the meeting? If not, till we see you again, and I will let you guys go.
Thank you.
Great day.
Thank you all.
Thanks. Thank you all.
Thanks everyone. I invite everyone to be a repeat donor. Cheers.